Hey everyone, welcome to Tuesday with Pastor Dan. Our final time with Jill here. Well, you all have one more. It's my final time with Jill and our Lent in plain sight, which I think has been absolutely fantastic. Been a great devotion, and I hope you all have enjoyed it in the time that we've processed through Lent together and are headed towards Easter, and then we'll be in Easter season. So, she closes, actually. It's funny. I can't seem to get away from my Palm Sunday thoughts, she just has brought them back. So if those of you who either were in church or listen to sermon online, it's going to be kind of similar, but maybe a little bit different. But I can't seem to get out of that mindset for this year with when the Pharisees tell Jesus to silence his disciples in that time when he's coming in on the back of the colt, and he says, if these are silent, even the rocks will shout out. But more importantly, she talks about the everyday common object is coats. Coats for 3 days, towels, obviously for Maundy Thursday in the washing, and then thorns, and then stones on Sunday. But coats, the things we wear to keep us warm, or the thing that we throw over our dress shirt to make us look extra classy if you are a gentleman who wears suits, things of that nature. But coats, and she talks about it, and as they come in, they throw colts over the colt. In Luke, as it's an unridden colt, and then they spread their cloaks and coats on the ground, and we're like, oh, that's nice. We think that's nice, but what we don't often remember is their coats or their cloaks were the outer garment. They were literally, it would be like us taking the shirts off our very backs and laying them out in front of Jesus for him to ride over. A little bit more than a red carpet, but it's the literal showing of giving everything to Jesus, and they willfully just let a colt trample the shirts off their back, and they didn't have another one. More than likely, they maybe had one more, but most of them probably that was the one they had, and so it makes me think even more. What are we holding back? That's the first question she kind of asks for us: is what are we holding back, or why are we holding it back, or what's causing us to hold back? I'm always trying to tell my athletes, there's a time and place to kind of hold back practice. We don't go full bore because we're trying to be technically correct, but the meets we can't hold back. It's time to compete, and yet a lot of us do. We hold back. We hold back with our generosity. We hold back with our excitement. We hold back with our affections. We hold back, and I think it's usually out of fear. I mean, the lines "do not be afraid" are in Scripture a heck of a lot more than other things. Be happy or things like that, or blessed, or do not be afraid is constantly in there. God or someone's always saying do not be afraid. But why do we hold back? Right? Jesus is told to quiet his disciples, and he said, if they're quiet, the rocks will shout. Why do we hold back? Why do we hold back our praise, our generosity, our celebration, our singing, our excitement? We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to. We have all these other things. We're so concerned with the exterior world versus what God is seeing and what we're doing for God and for one another. There's a story of a gentleman who had an untimely death, and he had all these great things, the nicest shoes in his closet, the great sweaters and clothes, that beautiful, wonderful things, never been worn, because he's waiting for some special occasion to put it on. Well, his special occasion went right past him, and there it is, right? Why do we hold back? Are we waiting for some special occasion? We're waiting for something. If Jesus really needs it, we'll do it. But we hold back. We pause. We wait. And then we miss our moment. It just never makes sense to us. God has given us life to live, and for it to be abundant. But for it to be abundant, we have live it, and to live it is to do it in full force all the time. Um, and that seems a little intense. I understand that, but why do we hold back? With our faith, with our life, with our affections, with our love, what it would look like if we told the people around us that we loved them, we appreciated them, we cared for them, and we didn't hold those praises, those affirmations, that love back, or the grace, or the forgiveness. We just kept it for ourselves, but that doesn't do anything. It just builds up, and it doesn't do anything. Our lives are meant to be spilled out, like a cup overflowing. Our lives are meant to be like that, the champagne tower at a wedding or a celebratory event, where you dump it in the top one and it spills down, and all of a sudden there's all these glasses filled up. Our life is supposed to be that top glass or the next one filled up and spreading forth. But if we hold back in any way, shape, or form with our celebrations, our cloaks, our lives, then it doesn't spill forth. So maybe as we come to Holy Week, we have to ask ourselves, what are we holding back, and what is making us hold those things back? You all have a blessed Holy Week. Look forward to seeing you as Easter comes. Be well.